Good evening, and welcome to the Baseball and Beers podcast. I'm your host, John Nee, along with my co-host and beer expert, J.R. Nicholas.
Hello.
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 Catchy,
Hello.
catchy catchphrase, ain't it, folks?
Yeah, oh, it's just
So,
mind-boggling.
we have a special Friday night edition here for you, so excuse us if we start slurring our words 10, 15 minutes into this, as we've...
This is my first beer. You speak for yourself.
yeah,
over
as
there.
I've been drinking already, so...
Buckle your
you know,
seatbelts.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. So we'll try to get through this for you in the next, hopefully 15, 20 minutes tops, and
Probably 25.
give you a couple new. We talk a little too much, so it could be closer to 25. So we have a couple new beers we're gonna get out there for you, and
I will introduce.
we'll talk about the Phillies. So why don't we just jump right into the beers?
let's
while
talk
we're
about
at it?
this. I'm really excited about this beer from Other Half called Ruaka Snaps. Okay, Snaps is like their house lager. It's like their a signature beer, and they did it with this Ruaka hop. Okay, give this a sip. It's
Never
gonna
heard of
knock
it.
your socks off. It's a juicy lager. I approve. Everybody go
Juicy
get
lager. All
Other
right.
Half beer. It's great. So check it out.
That is a juicy lager.
Wow, that's yummy.
You're more of a juicy guy
Oh.
than I. You know, I kind of.
This is it's
More of a Pilsner and
definitely
IPA guy.
it's different. You know, there's people who like their lime in their lagers and you know some of the local breweries do it. This is different. This is really juicy and delightful.
It is.
And I have another one coming up from Stable 12, which I might have featured before.
does-
I'm a big fan of that.
This is
Phoenix
very
Hill
juicy.
Brewery.
I do like juicy things, but usually not my beer.
Well, I'm gonna fill you up there.
All right, so anyway, let's kick into
dive in there, Johnny.
Let's
You got
kick
a
into
lot-
the Phillies.
Over.
So we're coming off a 6-game homestand that's seen the Phillies take 2 or 3 from the Tigers,
Yes.
which was a big series, and
Big
then
series.
2 or 3 from Baltimore. You know, they
Outstanding
won the
attendance.
series. They won the series, so I guess we'll be happy about that. I was kind of disappointed they didn't get the sweep Sunday.
Yes.
They didn't play good Sunday. I mean, hey, whatever. You know, they got 4 out of 6. So, you know,
Yes.
we seen Duran get 2 saves against
Yes.
Detroit.
Very exciting when he comes in.
Very, very excited. He's got
Awesome.
a
The
very,
Phillies fans are loving it, man.
he's got a different entrance, that's for sure. And, you know, they finally got a closer, folks. Stuff I've been harping on for probably 2 years. Every podcast I've done, I've talked about, you know, the lack of a closer here.
Your wish has come true.
My wish has come true. We finally have a closer. You know, we have Alvarado's going to be back when they come back from this 10-game road stand road trip that they're embarking on tonight. Through 3 in Texas. What else we got? 3 in
3 in Cincinnati, and 4 in Washington, which, George Weber said he might run down one of them games at the 4 o'clock Saturday.
That would not be a bad idea. Maybe we'll think about talking.
We'll have to talk about that.
maybe
after-
taking a trip down
after
next
this.
weekend. But that could be a tough road trip, folks. I mean, Texas is
It's
in.
not going to be easy.
I think Texas is in a wild card spot.
Texas
or
and
if not, they're close. Cincinnati is.
Cincinnati, yes.
Cincinnati's
Yes.
right is kicking on the 6th spot. You know, in the playoffs. They're currently in 7th. They're playing good ball, and
You know what's going to happen when they get to Washington? They're going to see some pitcher. They have no idea. Some young kid that they traded for that'll shut them down. They'll be like a 2-hit game from some kid that's up from the minors. You know that's going to happen.
that does seem to happen quite often. I mean,
it's
we
like
see.
it's going to be. It's almost like September.
We've seen it, so it's. I think
That's not going to be easy.
I think it's a tough 10-game road stand.
is-
You know,
it is
going
gonna
down
be
to
a tough
Texas,
trip.
then over to
It's a tough
Cincinnati. So, if we can get,
I would like 7 wins.
7-3 be fantastic.
I would.
I'd be ecstatic with
Yeah,
that. If
I
they
would too.
6-4 would probably be acceptable. I don't want to see them roll out and come back 5-5, and hopefully give them. Don't give the Mets any hope. I mean, the Mets are going down to where you were saying that Milwaukee.
They're
I know
in
for sure.
They are in Milwaukee, which is going to be a tough weekend for them.
Yes, it will be.
And then they come home to play the Braves. The
Okay, division.
The Braves have kind of folded their tent again. They're
Division games, though, that could be tough.
division game, but they're going to probably throw some young pitching too, just like the Nationals will against us.
Absolutely.
And then they have the Mariners, who they play at
Tough
home
series.
before the Mariners come to us. So that's a week from this
So
week.
they're in a tough. So they got the
They
Phillies.
got a tough. And
9
then they're
games.
going to play the Nationals and Braves again, which is kind of easy for them. And then
We play
we
them.
play them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Okay.
at the end of the month. So it's going to be an exciting few weeks.
So
for
we
sure.
have, so we're 2.5 up. We have a game in hand over the next 10 on the road, and so they have the Brewers, the Braves, and the Mariners for 9. So
Yeah.
hey, look, what's the best they could go there? Maybe they, I'm thinking they probably
Trying to
lose
win
two or three to Milwaukee, 2 or 3
They
to
win like 5 games.
Seattle. And if they went 5-4, 4-5, so maybe the Phillies can go 6, 7 wins.
Get
Maybe
another
they
game.
gain
Another game.
gain a game or two.
Yeah, yeah.
So things are kind of right where we expected them to be. We have a couple guys that are getting ready to come back from injury. Nola's made 2 rehab starts now. Baum is down at AAA now, getting ready for a rehab assignment. David Robertson has been, he's been pitching down at AAA. Not too good from what I understand. He's having a rough time down there.
A lot of money for a little bit of baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't really get that signing actually.
They're on the hook for $6 million.
They needed a right-handed arm. You said that before.
They needed an arm in there, and I think before the Duran trade, I kind of think, maybe it was just kind of a backup if, Duran went somewhere
Or they
else.
got somebody who, like, other than Duran.
Yeah, like a Helsley or someone they really weren't targeting, but had a fallback plan.
Non-closer.
I mean,
another piece it together back end of the bullpen guy.
Sure. I mean, I'll give Robertson
Give him a shot.
I'll give him 2 or 3 weeks because think about it, it's almost like a spring training for me. He hasn't played all year. Philly signed him off the street. I mean, I'm sure he was throwing a little bit, staying in shape, blah, blah, blah. But he needs to see live hitters. So let's give him about 3 weeks. So, maybe when this team gets back home, I believe they come home Monday, August 18th. Alvarado is eligible to be activated on Tuesday the 19th. So that'll help for the final 6-7 weeks of the
hopefully
season.
Robertson's good, and then when
And
Alvarado will be gone come the end of the season.
He pitched last night. Alvarado pitched an inning last night, struck out 2.
Good.
No runs, gave up a hit. So, look, when they come home to Seattle, we could be looking at, Robertson up. We could be looking at, Alvarado will be up. Duran's here. So the bullpen's going to look a little
change.
It's going to look a little different.
Yeah.
Aaron Nola might be back at that point, which would push Walker back into
which puts Lazar to the minors.
Yeah, Lazar, Seth Johnson, Daniel Robert, all back to the minors.
Be gone.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was I don't want to use the word disappointing because I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but I kind of thought with this 10-game road stand, I kind of thought there might be a chance that we've seen Kepler DFA'd and Crawford called up, but that has not happened. Crawford's in the lineup tonight for the Iron Pigs, and Kepler's still on the Phillies, so I guess they're not ready to bring Crawford up at this time. So I'm assuming that for the time being, we're going to see the Bader, Marsh, Kepler, and Weston Wilson
going on out there.
platoon.
Yeah.
I don't know where that platoon will go when Alec Bohm comes back. Does it become the Otto Kemp into the outfield and Wilson back to the minors?
Kemp to the bench.
Or do they send Kemp to AAA to play every day and get at bats junior in case they need him later in the year? I don't know what their plan is there.
That's a good question. No, I don't know. If he's not going to play a lot, then maybe he does go back down.
Yeah, it's going to be him or Wilson.
You got Bader now.
Yeah.
You got Bader out there.
So we're going to have, it's going to be the Marsh, and it looks like it's going to be the Marsh, Bader, like I said, Kepler, Wilson, and then maybe Kemp when Baum comes back, and Crawford doesn't look like he's...
Or Wilson goes back
in the picture.
Maybe it's Wilson.
Yeah, it could be Wilson, Kemp, someone stays.
Kemp can play some infield.
Some infield as well, where Sosa plays, and speaking of platoons, it looks like it's going to be a Sosa stop platoon as well.
Which means that Kemp can spell Baum a game here and there. Baum's not going to play every day.
Sure.
He'll need a day off and stuff.
And Harper won't play every day down the stretch.
Baum
will go to first, and
Kemp to third.
Someone will play third. I'm kind of a little, like I said, I was kind of a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping to see Crawford come up and take over center field, and maybe see a Bader and Marsh platoon in left.
Well, if the Bader deal didn't happen, then your dream that point would have been.
I mean,
made.
I just kind of. Bader's an upgrade, obviously a big upgrade over Rojas. I understand that,
Absolutely.
but I kind of thought when they made that move, they were bringing him in here to play.
Let me ask you something about Rojas. Don't you think he played too much?
I do.
Thompson had him out there way too much.
I do, and he just has not.
You should have let Marsh, I know the lefty thing, but Marsh should have played a little more. You could have used Kemp a little more.
Well, you remember Marsh had a terrible start to the season too, and he still can't hit lefties. Marsh just cannot hit lefties. That has not changed.
But I just was like, I was kind of done with Rojas like a month ago, like a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's been here. He came up in 22, so he's been here 3.5 years now, folks.
Really
and
done anything except that he can run some balls down in center field.
And
his
Marsh,
defense didn't warrant his
being a roster
that
spot.
many plate appearances.
Yes, I agree.
In my opinion.
He's almost an automatic out,
He
especially
was an
come-
automatic out.
Especially come
And
playoff
you got a
time.
game where you got Marchand at the bottom of the order, you know, filling in for JT, giving JT a much needed day off. You got all these holes in your lineup. You got like out at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, Marchand's been he's been a major disappointment for me. I
Disappointing.
expected some offense from him. That was the talk this year. You know, he was out of options, so they risked the chance of losing him if they didn't put him on the roster. So he was supposed to bring more offense than Stubbs, and you know, quite frankly, I have
didn't
not
happen.
seen it. He's probably a better defensive catcher than Stubbs.
Probably.
But
yeah, yeah.
look, Stubbs had some intangibles. He's a good locker room guy. He was well liked by his teammates. He was a good defensive catcher, Stubbs, and he brought a little bit. Like, he didn't have great offense, but he would lay down the occasional bunt, get
can
on
run.
base, steal a run. He can run.
He's still big.
So you know, Marchand's been has been a disappointment for me. So, I mean, he's not going to go anywhere this year. Stubbs is probably going to spend a year in AAA.
Well, Marchand's not going to play if we get. If
he's
we
not
get
gonna play in the
playoffs.
playoffs,
He's
sure.
not going to play. So,
Sure.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who the backup is.
So,
You know.
you know, anyway, we got Nola, you know, like I said, Nola, Alvarado, all these guys hopefully coming back when the Phillies return August 18th. Little concern going on with the pitching staff. It'll be good to get Nola back because we got Wheeler dealing with a shoulder now.
Right.
He's going to
Yep.
pitch Sunday, supposedly. So
I don't think he'll pitch this.
Hopefully-
they said
yeah, they
Sunday,
pushed him
that's
back to
right.
Sunday, so hopefully that's not-
Well, hopefully he does then.
hopefully that's not a lingering
Yeah.
issue. The MRI showed no damage. Suarez is again, his velocity's been down his last 4 starts. We've seen this 3 years in a row now. You know,
kind of runs out of gas. Huh?
it almost seems like he runs out of gas. He was hurt to start this year. He had a good run for a while there. He's kind of leveled out a little bit. Now his velocity's down. So for me, I mean, I don't think they'll do it during the regular season. But look, Alvarado, we all know, is not eligible to pitch in the postseason. So they're going to have a starter who's going to fill that spot. And a lot of people are saying Luzardo because Luzardo has been kind of shaky in his starts lately.
You know,
So
I feel like a lot of people talking about their respective teams are going through the same thing. Pitchers get tired. Pitchers, you know,
Yeah.
or they go
Tired-
through spells.
tired
and
arms.
This is, I mean, it's August, man. It's.
I mean, for me, I'm almost to the point where I think if I was to start a 5-game series, I think I would go with Wheeler, Sanchez, obviously number 2, and then I have a big decision there, and this will all depend on
Yeah.
what Nola
Yeah.
does over the next
Yes.
6 weeks. If Nola
Yes.
comes back
Absolutely.
and pitches well, then Nola would be my 3rd starter, I
Sure.
think, and I think I'd put Ranger in the bullpen, and Ranger would be one hell of a lefty to have down in that
Yes,
bullpen.
absolutely.
A multiple inning,
Yes.
you know, he could come in, maybe even piggyback a Nola start. If Nola went out
Right.
there, gave you
Did five.
5 good innings,
Yeah.
maybe he
Yeah.
gave up a run,
Yeah.
and he's at 70, 80 pitches,
2 innings from
you can
him,
lift
and
him.
that saves the bullpen for
Yes,
the next game
yes.
and stuff. Unless Rob starts marching
So-
them out and like, you know,
I mean, we've seen last year,
stuff.
that last game against the Mets, they just ran out of arms. They
Ran out of
basically
bullets,
ran out of arms.
bullets.
Starters, relievers. I do think the team's in a better position with their pitching this year. That will not happen. Of course, there's always the golden child, Andrew Painter's name popping up that he could be up in the bullpen. But
Ain't happening.
from what I've seen, Painter's been good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. So
I think he stays.
I don't know if he's ready yet. I don't know if you want to bring him up. You know, when you come back from this road trip, you'll have 38 games left. I don't know if that's the time to experiment with getting Andrew Painter 2 or 3 starts.
I don't think that's necessary. Like, he doesn't need to come up and debut just to, you know. I don't think so
either.
I don't think we need to do that.
I feel if they really feel they need him in the bullpen come playoff time, then let him just pitch out the year at Lehigh Valley, making his starts. He's
Come up in
he's
September.
averaging. Not a lot of people notice. So far for this year, he's averaging less than 5 innings a start. So the Phillies are kind of, you know, they're not really pitching him a whole lot down there. So they could be saving his arm a little bit for the postseason to be a reliever, and he could be a guy that could also piggyback a Luzardo start. Maybe Luzardo goes 4 innings, starts.
Yeah.
From what I've seen with Luzardo lately, it seems like,
it's all good scenarios.
hey, well, Luzardo, it seems like it's giving you 3, 4 innings and hits that 5th
Hits the
and
wall.
kind of starts
kind of like
imploding.
Walker.
So
Walker would do that too.
yeah, and
you know, like,
the same.
you know.
Same. Walker was kind
Although
of the same
Walker's
way.
been pretty darn good lately, you know, he's been okay.
He's done more than I thought he would this year. Look,
he
they
pitched on Sunday.
Yes. He was in the started the season in the bullpen, came in as a starter,
Was it
back to the
Nola?
bullpen, came back as a starter, and now he'll go back to the bullpen again. So, look, Walker's done. Look, he's paid a lot. And unfortunately, it is what it is. Dombrowski signed him, but he's had a decent year. So I have no problem with Walker going back to the bullpen, being the eighth guy, mop-up guy, whatever. He won't see any valuable innings in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Neither will Romano, I don't
Tanner
believe.
Banks, all those guys. Yep.
Well, Banks,
A little bit with the Alvarado factor.
Yeah,
yes.
with the Alvarado, depending on
to the previous point about Suarez, he might be the guy that
Yeah.
leaves Banks to mopping up, or we have a huge lead and you bring him in there to save the bullets.
I would think if you have Strom and Ranger in the bullpen, that's your lefties that are going to pitch in the seventh, eighth
Strom,
innings.
I forgot about Strom. Strom's
Luzardo,
had his struggles, but he's pretty solid.
I just don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with Luzardo coming in the seventh, eighth. First of all, he's never done it,
No.
so I don't. And Ranger has done it, so they got a lot of decisions to make. The Phillies, and a
Him
good
Walker,
decision to have.
Him and Walker in the bullpen again. Either we're up by a lot or down by a lot. You don't waste.
Sure. Romano, the same type of guy.
Same guys,
I'd pitch Romano in maybe the fifth or sixth inning. That'd be about it. I don't think I could trust him in the seventh, eighth innings.
We've kind of had our ups and downs.
If Robertson can pan out, if he can come back and pitch like we think we can, then we should be okay for the seventh, eighth, and ninth. We could have Ranger, Robertson, Strom, Kakarin, and Duran. That would be 5 solid guys to lock down 3 innings. We'd be in really good shape there.
Yeah.
And we know our starters are all capable of going at the very least 6 innings.
Yes.
So I think the pitching is going to be good. And, we're going to have, I think our offense will be, we have a little more depth this year with the platoons going with, again, the Bader and Marsh and Kepler and Kemper, Wilson, and Sosa and Stott. So I think our offense has a little more depth this year hitting the playoffs. The pitching has a little more depth, it looks like. And basically, it's probably going to come down to how will Thompson, use them. Will he put them in the right spots? Will he pull guys out at the right spot come playoff time? And hopefully he does.
I think he will.
And
I think with Duran, especially when you talk about the bullpen, he's the closer. There's no other guy. He's not gonna.
No scenario. I don't want to see a scenario where,
Yeah.
with going down the stretch now, when Robertson comes back, and you have Kakarin and you have Strom, and Banks is pitching pretty well, so I don't really want to just write Banks off.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need, and Thompson has done this a lot this year, last year. Top of the order coming up in an 8th inning of a 3-2 lead. He'll go to his closer in the 8th. That's not the spot for Duran. That's Kakarin.
No.
That's Robertson. That's Strom.
Strom.
That's
Yeah.
Alvarado.
That's
Hey, look, you got Alvarado for
Pitch
6 and a
him
half
every
weeks.
day.
Pitch the hell out of him. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear, he pitched Monday and Tuesday, can't pitch Wednesday.
Yeah.
Pitch him 3 days in a row, Rob.
Doesn't matter.
Who cares? He's here for six and a half weeks,
Use
and then
him.
he's done for the year. Use him. Use him in them spots. If you have Alvarado in the 8th and Duran in the 9th, and Kakarin and Strom in the 7th,
Pretty solid.
And Robertson, that's some pretty locked down 7th, 8th, 9th innings.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
our starters again, Wheeler, Sanchez, these guys are capable of going 7 innings. Suarez, I might start to look more towards 5 or 6.
5, yeah.
Nola 5 or 6.
For now.
Luzardo
Nola,
5
yeah,
or 6.
yeah.
So, I mean, you have the bullpen and the pitching to do that.
Yeah.
So what else we got here? Speaking of beers,
we just started sipping. I didn't introduce it. Didn't want to interrupt you. Italian Stallion, Italian style Pilsner from Stable 12 in Phoenixville.
Oh, nice.
Love me some Phoenixville. 1278 is a great brewery on the other end of the strip. You got Root Down Rebel Hill. You got your Conchi Rec Room. There's a lot of beer in Phoenixville. And this here,
solid street.
Stable 12, probably my favorite brewery in Phoenixville. So this Italian Pilsner,
fill me up.
I will. I'll give another pour. So
That's a good street,
I
Phoenixville,
poured
a
it
lot of
for you, and
fun.
I didn't want to interrupt your flow there for.
Got my buddy Daniel J. Brogan, the Bug. He lives up there in
man.
Phoenixville, and
Montclair and stuff. Yeah.
yep, right in Montclair. So we'll have to get together,
we gotta meet
Dan,
up in
soon, and come
Phoenixville.
up if you're watching this, Dan. We'll come up in Phoenixville, hit some of these breweries. Dan does drink the craft beer like me and you
Stable
do.
12
So.
has an awesome kitchen too. Everybody, if you want to, their cheesesteak was in a Philly cheesesteak challenge.
Okay.
Their sandwiches, their burgers, everything's outstanding. This is a great brewery, and it's easier to park.
We also have a Sedona up there, right? too?
Yeah,
I believe
Sedona Tap
Sedona's
House
up
is
there.
really pretty much the reason that the Iron Hill closed across the street.
Oh, that close.
Yeah,
I like
they-
the Iron Hill.
yeah,
They had the
well,
outdoor barn.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, yeah, Sedona with the deck, the patio. Yeah. So Iron Hill was a tasting room, and that they had the fold. I mean, that was probably like. It would be 7 breweries if that one was still open, and they're all walkable.
Well, it's
like
a pretty popular street. A few times I've been up there. I've had a lot of fun up there. So
good drinking in
again, Daniel J. Brogan, hit us up and we'll come up some night and hang out.
Yeah, man. Stable 12. Cheers.
Stable 12.
And Rebel Hill. Don't forget about Rebel Hill. Across from the movie theater. It's all good.
So
Cheers.
basically tonight,
Yeah.
Phils, we
What do
got the Phils at 8:05 against Texas, that's pretty much all we have.
It's a big series. This
Yeah,
is
very
a
big series.
These next two, especially, and I'm not going to sleep on Washington for 4 games down there. But the Reds are trying to make the playoffs too. So
That's a
if
tough
If
series.
we could do some damage, win this series, win the series, and the Reds would be 4-2 going into Washington for 4.
Gotta-
you know, and that
gotta
that,
take 3 there,
Yeah,
Washington.
absolutely. There's your 7-3.
We need
to win
3.
these series for sure.
Yes,
Come
we
home
do.
and play Seattle. We're trying to get in the playoffs
There's-
as well.
There's not
You
much,
know,
not much games
yeah.
left when they come back. They come
Playing-
back 38 games left at that point, I believe, and
They play
you know,
like 22 games
down the stretch.
in 23 days or something. Because Thursday the 21st are off, and then they go on. Then they play like 9 games in a row.
Yes, they
Again,
do.
They don't. They're not off the following Monday
tough.
or anything like that. So it's going to be a long stretch. Dog days of summer. You know, this is what it is. Pitchers get tired.
It is what it is.
know,
All right, folks.
so-
So that's pretty much all we have tonight.
Yeah.
Look for us to get back to
Okay.
you before the next homestand after this 10-game road trip. And be sure to check out my Birds and Beer podcast
Yes,
before
it's really
every
good.
Eagles games this year.
Really, really good.
I'll be coming
What else
on
we got here?
probably about 2 hours before every Eagles game on game days. And, you know, last night was the first one I did. So be sure to check that out. And, of course, stick with our baseball and beers here.
Yes.
And
Speaking of beers, we're going to drink some Sierra Nevada during the Phillies game.
yeah, we
Well,
are.
The Sierra Nevada Summerfest Lager, outstanding. We were talking too much to crack it. I didn't even finish this one. But yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Let's go Phillies.
And for all my hockey fans out there, there could also be a Pucks and Pints
Pucks and
podcast
Pints!
coming this year as well.
I
in
got a guest for you
October.
on that. I know a kid that
that'll
needs
be
to come
okay.
on and be a guest for that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, folks.
Cheers.
Have a great Friday night, a great
Yeah.
weekend.
Go
Cheers.
Phillies.
Go
Let's have a
Phils.
good big weekend. Cheers. Go Phillies.
Have a great night, folks.